present to you Black Essence from a Woman. Today we're going to talk about the degradation of a black female through image, equality, and sexuality and judgment, which I don't understand and I don't get, but it's a double standard toss of two coins.
What do you not understand? I want to hear your breakdown.
I want to understand why is it like you can't, alright, like you're grinding, you're a hustler, you're a designer, right?
Yes.
So as a dude, why the heck can I not support your grind? Like what? I mean, I understand it's from a dude, male's perspective, that most men are envious of women that are like.
Who said that though?
What you mean?
Who said that?
Men in general. Men are more shy for a woman to be more successful than them. Like men don't want women to be more successful than them.
They can be, right?
They can
be. Some
can, but most don't accept it.
And then some see it as a way for you to just kind of cruise, because she's good. I ain't got to do anything. They'll be like, all right, attach myself to that, and we're going to be all right.
Bills paid.
Bed, sleeping in it.
Yeah.
Tax money? I got that.
Xbox, let's go.
Whoa. No.
Hey, we all know one.
I know that's why I said no. I'm glad you didn't say his name, but anyway.
You're petty. Anyway.
I'm not petty. I'm not petty. That's not petty. But let's see. What's the one thing that you can think of right now that is most degrading to black females? Like the one thing that you can think of off the top of your head.
I do kind of feel a type of way that every time like a dark-skinned woman or a black woman, period, is like depicted now, it's like they gotta be like butterball turkey, greased up, naked, ass out,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Titties out, everything just
Yeah.
out, and everybody's just like, oh my god, beautiful. Even though like, you know what I'm saying, people are like looking at this woman like as an object. And I feel like people didn't really notice that until white photographers started kind of like doing the whole like black empowerment photography, and then when black people found out, hey, wait, you're not a black photographer, you're trying to exploit us, and it's like, oh, ding.
They don't love themselves, so we're gonna turn the table around.
You don't love yours.
A lot of black people don't love themselves.
True.
That's just the truth of the matter, unfortunately.
It's very true. Like,
So it's not until the white person says this is beautiful that a lot of black people accept that things are beautiful, which is unfortunate because we are the first depiction of beauty. That's why they rock with it so hard. But they hate it so much.
It's
They
not
love it so
until-
much.
Not until it's either sexualized or white people say it's
Are
cool.
deemed comfortable. If it's as long as it's comfortable, then it's good to be black. But don't do too much. Like stay in your place.
So what's staying in your place? Like not saying the N-word?
No, it's like dribble the ball. It's like throw the football. It's like, yeah, you can work for this, high
Don't
law
dare have an
office,
opinion.
but don't ever ask or don't ever think that you're going to be more than what I let you to be.
Don't
So as
ask
long as you stay in
questions.
those safe rooms or those safe spaces, they're not threatened.
Especially at work.
Unfortunately. Huh?
Especially at work, like at in a professional environment.
Yeah.
It's like, you go out to eat with your coworkers, never go out to eat with your coworkers.
Say no to
Because that's when,
coworkers.
that's when all of it just, the truth just starts pouring out.
We be
They
drinking.
hear a rap song, everybody stop everything that they're doing and look at you.
Oh,
Nah,
yeah.
it's facts though. It's facts though.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what? I'm so fortunate that I haven't been in a work environment where I can't embrace all of my coworkers, no matter their color or their religious background. I'm very thankful to have a group of women, because I'm a teacher. Well, I teach. that I have a group of women that are very diverse, very understanding, and very loving. So I never had to deal with the, oh my goodness, is that an N-word?
The blacks.
Are you super pretty for a black girl type shit?
I've definitely
I never
had
did
that.
Okay,
that.
see that part,
I've had to
irritates me.
deal with
That
that a
hurts me
lot.
so much. I don't know why though, because it's just like you're pretty for a black girl. So what are you trying to tell me?
You're pale for a
You
woman.
trying to say my skin tone? You trying to say my skin
And
tone?
what's the story?
The whole like concept of, oh, you're pretty for a black girl, it's just like, oh, we thought that you were gonna have I guess like a broad nose, full lips, that type of thing. Pretty much we want you white but painted black.
But it's a
That's what we
caricature. Because, come on now, Massa thought we was fine. That's why he was fucking all of us.
And
Right,
his old
then they
lady was
fucking.
mad.
And man, because
I
they
don't
knew
know why.
our work. I mean, come on now. Africa is the richest continent in the world, not in just like people, but like resources, right? So if the resources are rich, what do you think's gonna come out of the people? They're gonna be rich. So they took them and they sold them for money. Like, that shit's crazy.
Tried
Shit's
to,
crazy.
tried to pretty much like, you know.
Dehumanize their godliness, you know?
And we're still here. That's the thing that pisses them off.
And that's how you know we godly. That's how you know we're anointed as our people. But
And
that's
our
just not
influence
people.
is so strong. Our influence has literally touched everything.
Mhm.
Their music.
Mhm.
First they were against rap music. Now there's country rap. That's a thing that exists.
Nelly, look at Nelly out there with the
I know
country
exactly.
rap.
First they were
Artist
mad
called
at the
something outlaw, and
Yeah.
I heard it. I didn't know
But
what
country-
I was watching with you.
Wasn't one of the how did country music start? Like, didn't they steal it from a black man?
Mhm.
I can't think of his name right now. And that's
started with a Southern black man. I believe he was in Mississippi,
uh-huh.
and he had some of the first known recordings of country music. I know a lot.
Somebody Google that.
I feel like he was somewhere in
Is it
Mississippi.
Muddy Waters or something
He
like
was
that?
one of the
ooh,
beginners. He
I
started
don't think
more
it's.
rock.
You know what? Somebody said Muddy Waters was possessed by the devil, but that's a whole different
They
story.
always, every time a new sound comes out, older people of that generation say it's the devil.
Listen
Every
to the
single time.
lyrics.
Rock
It's
devil.
talking about conjuring up the devil, but this is a whole nother story.
But, back to your original question, what I found most degrading, I recently found out earlier this year, was have you guys heard of blackfishing? There are white no,
Like a
let me
fish,
finish.
What is white fishing?
So there are white women online who, if you add a little bit of racial ambiguity to a situation, if you make her look like she's a little bit more black, she's more acceptable. So you'll see a picture of this one white girl 2 years ago, pale like Casper the Ghost, and now she's fully tanned up.
I know what you're
all
talking
bronzed,
about.
and you're
I
just
know
like,
exactly
wait,
what
now
you're talking about.
now you're one of us. But when one of us get shot, you have nothing to say.
And they
Right.
completely
But now-
changed themselves. Like, it's
Summer
crazy.
soldiers.
Like you want to get your lips done to look like us, and you want to have the curves and everything. But then when one of our own is hurt, we're defending that person.
Then it's, I
There's-
didn't know.
Like
There's nothing I can do about it. I didn't know.
Not even that. It's more of accusing,
Right.
like trying to find a wrong in what the person did. Well, he shouldn't have been outside at night at 5 o'clock. Like, ma'am, like what?
That doesn't,
Like,
that doesn't
he
give it a
shouldn't have
reason
been breathing.
to, to like hopefully kill somebody just because, oh, I thought.
Yeah. Just like they say, everybody want to be a nigga until they can't be a nigga.
Exactly.
Can I ask today, in this generation, what is the definition of a queen? Like in the image today?
That is a great question.
Now, do you want the real answer
Yes.
or like what Instagram would tell
The
you?
real answer. I like it.
That was dope. That was so
Instagram
nice.
will tell you something whole different than like
What's your opinion?
real life.
A
Okay.
real
So you're asking what's the definition of what a queen means?
Yeah. I'll go first. My opinion of a queen is somebody that is fully aware of themselves and the role that they play within this life, this earth. A queen is somebody that is respectfully honoring other queens, other people, not bringing anybody down. Like just think about queens when they were like around. Just like they all had their own territories. They won't diss and no sis. Like, okay, it's queen. You queen. We got our own shit. You do your own thing. Everything is good. That's my mindset of what it is. I was rambling.
I can agree with that. I think it's not only self-awareness, but there's a grace that comes with that. There's like you have a walk. There's an energy.
But
that
with
goes
self-awareness, that's what that is.
It-
Like you have
know
that movement that's not like a woman who's unaware of who she is and gets the injections and I can't even say that because some women get it for health reasons and that's understandable. But if you're just doing it out of vain, reasons, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't really.
It's that organic confidence aside from the GMO cockiness. You have to have that confidence that comes from within. Pretty much hate some cliche, but I mean that's what it is.
That's not cliche at all. That's because it does come from in. Everything starts on the inside and then exudes on the outside completely.
Do what you're supposed to do as you would do by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No one's watching.
Integrity, plain and simple. Mm-hmm. So a queen is integrity. If we could, give it a Venus integrity. I like that.
Integrity.
I like that shit.
So I have a question. When did you know that you were a queen? Not when you were told, not when you thought,
Yeah.
not when anyone said it to you, but when did you look at yourself and be like, oh, I'm the shit and there's nothing anyone can do about it? When was that moment for you?
You asking me?
Anybody?
Oh.
Is there a moment where you've been like, okay, this is
queendom.
Yes, I have this in my blood and there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm gonna own it.
Yeah.
I know for me, there was a level of confidence my high school year of, like my senior year. I walked in, I applied for a scholarship, and it was for a football team at the time. And I had the most confidence knowing that I was, for one, the only black woman in there. Like, there were other competitors, and I was the only black female in there. And when I walked in the interview, I was the most confident knowing the answers, you know, to answer. And I walked out and I saw a white guy and he had on flip-flops for an interview. So instantly right then I knew I was like, all right, I got this in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, for one, I'm black. I'm dressed up. I came in with my aura. And that's when I knew I was like, all right, I'm queen. My high school year, senior year, going into college.
That's dope. That's super dope. Because some people don't realize it until like years later. Their worth, their I don't want to say identity, but they don't actually let go of all of the opinions of others. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a very long time. Like, for me, I'm 28, about to be 29. I didn't realize like what it truly meant all the way around until about last year when I went through some stuff. And it's so dope how you gotta go through some things, like really fight for, I guess you can say, your queendom.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you won't ever realize like what it really means to be at your top best. If that makes any sense.
It does.
Yeah. Because when you're going through some shit, that's when you learn your strength. That's when you learn like what's real and what's not real.
Yeah, there's a quote that I really like. I want to get it tattooed on me. It says, strength is what we gain from the madness we survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe
I
that
definitely
wholeheartedly.
like I'm a witness of it, like complete witness of it.
When you go through things, certain things transform who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like down to DNA. You can't really control it other than just like, all right, well, this is it now.
And that's when you have to surrender and like just let things be as they are, and just know that you're going to get out of it because it's been written that your storm is like nothing. It's only meant to build you for better.
Every storm ends, and when you're in it, you forget that. Especially if it's a long one.
But you know what's really dope? When you finally like surrender, like I was saying, and don't even be mad at the storm. Like find like little bits to learn from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're actually finding your joy in your storm. I had to figure that shit out last year, and like now too. And it's dope as hell, like living in some like nonsense and then being like, but them flowers blooming though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about
that's a
you? When
perfect
did you
analogy.
know that you were a queen?
The moment that light bulb went off and like stayed on, was the time I broke up with my boyfriend, who was a Caucasian man. We had been together for like 3 years. The incident that like really just set it off and set everything off was we were at the mall. We were at Crabtree Mall, and there was this like this older like middle-aged white lady who was just like staring at me in my face like, this is disgusting. I'm just like,
She said that out loud?
nah, her face like her face.
I forgot she's a boat. Like.
Yeah. I forgot what she had said, but she made like a snarky.
She made a comment.
She did make a snarky comment, like under her breath, but loud enough for me to hear,
Mm-hmm.
and like instantly, like my like the like my inner African was going crazy, and I was just like, "Oh, she doesn't know me. I sure have, but
Today she was there.
you can mark it on
But
the
we
wall."
have
Like, my boyfriend at the time, like, he saw everything going on. He saw everything. He saw why I was mad. He saw the reason for me being upset.
But he wasn't
And-
showing you any empathy.
Yeah, you know what he told me? He was just like, I wish that you would just let some things go. And I was like, oh,
Things.
let it go. Things.
You say?
Let it go. And
You first.
I was like, you know what, that's fine. So, I just made a little mental plan. I said, I'm saying, I'm not having no kids by you, okay? You're not gonna raise my half black kid or black kid. You're not gonna raise my black child to hate themselves. You're not gonna do that, okay? I mean, you were cool and stuff like that, but like you just kind of showed me a side of you that could probably manifest into something a lot more. So I would rather keep my seed and like not have any kids by you.
She just wrapped her
so-
sweater around her waist.
I did, and that's how I felt. So the following year, it was no more. And I mean, I knew why. Like, at that moment when everything was said and done for, you couldn't tell me what was the actual reason, but that was the seed that was planted.
Yeah.
That was
It was the thing that was always there, but like you saw that shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
and
damn.
I wasn't about to have that. You know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
good. That's
Not
good.
for my future kids or whatever. Like I'm not about to spread hate around.
So I might already know the answer to this question, but would you ever date or marry a white man? I know you have, but you too.
My preference is big black man. So
Amen. Hallelujah. So here's the thing, right? I would really like to say that I could love any man, and if God made him for me, that I could accept and love. But there's certain things about being with a black man.
Yes.
When that black man loves you and you love him
Isn't
back,
it sweet, girl?
that feeling.
Connection that lie to
That can, even if like I'm bisexual, right? So even with a black woman, it's
Yes,
like
I
that.
have a
There's a
partner.
different.
It's magical.
There's a different kind of love with somebody that gets you down
That you
to a
connect.
molecular level.
There's an understanding that you don't have to stop and explain yourself as to why I'm upset that this white lady is looking at us. Like, you don't have to explain. You don't have to justify being upset, and you don't have to hide your anger or your sadness because
Yeah.
they know.
So to you, yes, you would.
I would love to say that I could. I really would, but.
I would say, your boy from the past ruined it.
Done. Like all of it.
You're
Finished.
done.
What about you?
I've, as a teenager and like in my early 20s, I was willing to do so. Maybe not I don't fuck with it. I only want black men. I'm sorry. I was trying to process it through my brain. It didn't work out.
I really like how you're like, I really could
You
be
tried.
accepting, but big black men.
That's essentially.
Big black man.
I don't know. And like you were saying, like just the whole orchestra of being in a relationship with a black man is like art. The whole movement of it, of like I'm in love at this moment, and I love loving my black man. I love thinking about having little chocolate babies who has heritage in Savannah, Georgia, which is so beautiful. You know what I mean? Just the
Yeah.
heritage, just the culture of it, just the deep roots of being in love with somebody that is from the same background as I. Feels good. I mean, the Asians, they not going too far from them. Why we gotta go?
They stay in the culture.
The Jewish ain't either, and that's a whole religion.
I've heard a few studies on that, speaking of which, how I believe there was a dating online study about preference by race, and black women ranked the lowest.
Yeah, they
But
would.
we are the most imitated, yes. So
Yeah,
it
that's
would
very
be
true.
something like white
That
men
makes sense,
wanted
though.
Asian women the most, black men wanted white men the most, or Latino women. Latino men or Latino men really wanted to be with either someone of their race or a white woman. Asian men wanted to be with someone of their race or a white woman.
But
So-
you also have to think about the way things were broken down in the Black Americans passed, right? Like white women, they were protected. You know, she's the sweet princess, my sweet baby, where she was looked as the prize back then. So in my opinion, unfortunately, the way that they have raped the black woman, the image that they have given black men, she can be torn down, she can be whipped. This is just my opinion, you know? And then to see the white woman who's always looked so beautiful, the white man takes care of his white woman, one day that's gonna be my prize. Either because of what I'm seeing, and this is like my role model, the white woman is the person to get, or it's, oh, fuck them crackers, I'm gonna fuck this white bitch to get back.
Yeah.
Or because she hella submissive and we don't play that shit. So if a black man, you know what, we can go some places, then I'm about to give you my opinion, but don't judge my shit. But a black man that marries a white man, a white woman, or man, in my opinion, you might be low-key weak, my nigga.
It's lazy to completely just like X out a whole category of woman just because
She's gonna challenge you.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna
And then
challenge
it's just
you
like,
to make
how do
you
you?
better.
Yeah, how do you know that every black woman is like that? How?
You
How do
don't
you
know.
know?
Yeah, because you haven't dated everybody.
Right, and it's just
So it's a self girl child. We went somewhere else.
Self-hate.
It's a self-hate type of thing too.
And if that's the case, Becky can have them. I'm
Because
cool.
Becky, he probably thinks if I get with Becky, then I can climb the same ladder as the white man and get on his level. But
right.
it's like, why would you even want to be on their level?
Go to Thanksgiving.
Look at the White
Go
House
to-
right
go to
now.
her
There's so much
Thanksgiving.
going on.
see how
I
quick.
would hate to be a white man at this
Go ahead.
time.
Mhm.
All they
Look at her
saying
mama
was-
in her face.
Child. But yeah, that's how I feel.
That's gonna be an awkward Thanksgiving. This water is spicy.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, so I kind of want to delve a little bit into image. And I want to take a different approach to it because I can spend all day talking about how black women look bad in media. But what are you guys, some of your favorite representations of black women in the media right now? Who's really catching your eye? Who'd you like?
You know what
Love
I think
to
is
see
adorable? I'm
represented.
sorry for interrupting. My bad. But what's her name? Camilla Harris. Like people, they have their opinion of her, but I enjoy watching her and her interviews because she's so ticklish about everything. Like she just so. Have y'all seen her interviews?
I have.
And she's always laughing. She's always in a good mood. Like she's very like easygoing in front of a camera or even talking to somebody. And I appreciate that personality of not an angry black woman, but a lady that's actually smiling and enjoying life. And I always, this is, she's not auntie.
Yeah.
She friend. What's her name? The one that's, I'm claiming my time back.
Auntie Maxine Waters.
Yeah, she's not Maxine Waters. She's nice. Maxine Waters don't play no shit.
I can't find that one picture where she's frowning. I mean, there's one serious picture, but she still has that twinkle in her eye, like
That's what gets me.
nurturing.
Like, you gotta watch. I don't know. I watch people's body language, so that tells you a lot. Look at that girl. She happy. So I like watching her. But I'm trying to think now that you said that. Black women, girl, Oprah, because we're going to meet one day. Because, yeah, Oprah.
A lot of confidence in that Oprah meeting.
I had to.
Yeah.
Representative,
She
I
said,
have to say Beyonce. Beyonce is always, not always, because at one point people were like, oh snap, Beyonce's black, what? But
People really ask that.
people were really like, oh wow, Beyonce's like black.
She from the
like,
South
black,
Side.
black.
Those people, and those are the people who got the issues. Because it's like, how did you not see? What do you really think about? What would you have thought about her if you identified her as black from the get?
Like,
would you?
Well, how did they identify her with? She was in a black girl group.
It's kind of like
her mama black, her daddy black. She black.
She from Houston.
Her
Her mama from Louisiana.
Exactly.
Well, you're not like the other blacks. I feel like a lot of white people saw her like that. Like, you ever had a white person be like, oh, you're not like the other black people I've met?
Oh my God.
I feel like a lot of white
Y'all
people
white friends
looked at
real
Beyonce. Honey, I'm from Johnson County. This is a sundown town kind of place. If you out in the wrong area at the wrong time, you might see some. Oh, I don't see like other black. You're not like them. You're not loud. You're not like them. I feel like white people really looked at Beyonce and was like, oh, she's one of the good Negroes. Let's keep her. All right. She making songs about lines for perm burn and all that stuff. Like, oh no, she's a good Negro. Let's keep her. And then she had their trust. It was like, nah, I'm black, y'all.
Oh,
I'm black.
the Super Bowl, they were like,
I'm black, you black, you black,
Black girl. Black girl.
Because she's black.
As soon as she did that, I was already a stan, but then I was like, hey, I got it. I have to give it up to you.
That's crazy though. You are not like my other black friends, or you are not like other black people. You're different.
I have a question. I don't remember the categories, but I hope this goes along the lines.
It does.
As a black woman, I feel like we have we've been talking. Okay, it does. We have a crown to carry because we've had so many black women experiences. What is your next step as the person with the crown to pull forward our community?
Me is to connect somebody's goal in order to connect somebody's goal, so to move their goal. So I am 27 years old. I am just now finding myself in a sense. I always knew what I wanted to do, but it didn't fall through. But being a black queen and knowing that I am a black beautiful woman, I want to encourage, uplift, move our black women as queens, as one. As well as our black men. Like, this is something that we need to come together with. I think of the Black Panther. I think of Bob Marley. He is my idol. Like, I think of Lauryn Hill when I think of a queen, a black queen, and how she moves. I move like chess. So I feel like...
Because she do be slow.
Yeah.
And late.
Yeah. But she's like the most important piece, and I feel like we all need to like go back towards who we are as queens and like embrace it. So
I kind of I'm going to build a community one day. I want to, so I had a conversation about this yesterday, how with white people, they have generated generational wealth off of the hookup. They hook up, you look like me, I identify with you, I'm going to give you the game that nobody else is going to give you, and you're going to go off and you're going to take off into the stars. I want to build that kind of community for people that look like me. For the little brown girl who always had a business, who's selling candy on the bus, who's always trying to figure out that next hustle. I want there to be a place for her to cultivate those skills and take business classes. Figure out how money really works. See what you can really do with it. For that little boy who's really into science, but people don't understand what that is to him. I want him to have a place to go to learn about STEM and have access to people that look like him doing the things he wants to do. So that way you don't see the ceiling that we ended up seeing. Like I want to be a doctor, and then you looked around and you ain't really see any black doctors. And well, I guess I can't really do that. What's next? I want to provide a network for the next generation. My little sister and younger, my sister's 18, just got accepted to A&T.
I mean, they got you going to college, but it's not Central.
I feel the heat.
Shout out to NCCU, the illustrious. Eagle Pride.
The most illustrious.
go Spartans. Anyway.
Yeah, I just want to build that community, and I also want to delve more into black people taking care of themselves.
Facts.
We talk about black on black crime a lot, but we don't talk. We get killed by ourselves more than anything else. Like the McDonald's that you had, what you eat, what you take in, and no one cares to do that further research or find ways. I want to have like a community sustainable, like a garden, somewhere for you to get fresh food, somewhere to figure out how to sustain without living off of something else. That's I want to build us to kind of back to the Black Wall Street days.
Self-sufficient.
I want us to have full communities again. Fuck gentrification, by the way.
Come on now.
If there's gentrification going on, have us be the ones owning those businesses
Yeah.
in those areas.
Instead of letting them go.
Yeah.
Let
But
us
you
be
know,
the
we've
ones fixing them.
the fucked up thing is, Black Americans, African Americans, we've built communities before, and then they try finances, comes in, sets fire to it, and then it's like, what happened to that community? Because there's multiple communities throughout the South that blacks have built, but the white community comes in and